Hi, thanks for coming to my channel. My name is Brittany, and today I wanted to talk about some of my must-haves for what I found the most useful when it came to having babies. I am a mother of 3. I have a 2-year-old and 10-month-old twins, and this is going to be the detailed explanation of my items that for our family worked the best. And if you want a more quick to the point, just pictures, links, and the price, check out my last video. It's just a minute long. It just gives everything, but this really goes into detail about why I liked these items compared to an alternative. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If not, thumbs down, and feel free to follow us. Thank you. Okay, so the first item on my list is going to be the Strap and Go stroller. And if you see me looking down, it's because I have my list right here. So our first stroller that we owned was just a regular stroller, and we really liked it, except we were always moving our oldest daughter from the car seat to the stroller, and it just takes a lot of time. And when we got pregnant with the twins, I saw on Facebook Marketplace that there was a double strap and go stroller, and you just take the regular car seat, the ones with the handle, and you just put it right in, strap it in, and all you have to do is push it. And that saves so much time. So definitely, if you want to get a stroller system that comes with both of them, I recommend that, because it will just be a lifesaver when you gotta go to appointments, run to the store, anything like that. Second thing on my item on my list is a bottle warmer. Even if you plan to breastfeed, or you never know, but I exclusively pumped with with both of them, and I would always heat up the either formula or breast milk that I had in the bottle warmer, and all you have to do is pour it in the bottle, press the button, and honestly just forget about it until it beeps. It's usually about an ounce a minute, and it just takes an extra step out of your way, and you get to spend more time with your babies. And then the one that I actually showed, we have that brand, and we have a double bottle warmer, and it works in other ways too, like you can heat up baby food and all that stuff. But we had a different brand for our first daughter, and this is the brand that we're using now, except we have the double bottle warmer. And the third item that I recommend is glass bottles. We used plastic bottles with our first daughter. Like I said, exclusively pumped, so I never brought her to me. I always gave it to her through a bottle. And the plastic bottles, there's nothing wrong with them, but we didn't know that you should replace them every so often, because they can get scratched on the inside when you're washing them, and then when they get scratched, they get some of either formula or breast milk. It can get stuck in those scratches, and then those bottles can start to smell really bad. And so if you get those, I recommend just replacing them every few months. But the glass bottles we've had for our twins, we haven't had to replace at all, and they don't smell at all. We don't dread cleaning the bottles. They actually work a lot better for us. And yes, they're a little expensive at first, but they clean easier and they don't ever smell. The fourth item that I recommend is a silicone bottle brush. So with our first daughter, we used to just keep buying the cheap bottle brushes, and oh well, just need a new bottle brush, because the ones that aren't silicone, I'm not really sure what they're made out of, but the little bristles, they'll bend, they'll get worn out. And we got a silicone one. It was actually gifted to us from our NICU, and we still have it, we still use it. It's dishwasher safe. We use the Dr. Brown's, and it doesn't get gross, and it looks actually brand new still. So we're very grateful to have found that out before we went through a bunch of the regular bristled ones. Fifth item, this is if you choose to use pacifiers. We didn't mind using them. With our oldest daughter, she only liked these green Avent pacifiers, and those are the ones that the hospitals give you. And we had a bunch of other ones, and she eventually liked the other ones, but this one was definitely her favorite. And then when our twins were born, again, they only liked those ones. I bought a bunch of the Avent ones. There was like purple and pink ones, and I was like, oh, it's the same thing, it's just cheaper. And it's not the same. There's just a slight difference, but somehow they know. So it's like the green ones are a little bit thicker with the material, so it might feel better more on their gums and make it a little more soothing for them. So for some reason, these green Avent pacifiers are what does it for all my babies so far. But my twins don't use any binkies anymore. They stopped using it at around 3 months or so, probably because I kept trying to give them the pink and purple ones. The sixth item is our 4-in-1 convertible car seat, and I still recommend getting the regular carrier car seat, you know, because you need that when you leave the hospital, put your baby in. And you know, I think that works great for the first, you know, however many months or so. My twins are still in those car seats, they fit fine in them, but this 4-in-1 convertible car seat will last them until they don't need a car seat anymore, because it takes you through all the stages. You do front facing, forward facing, and then, you know, front backward facing. You know, you do all of the levels in the car seat. So I definitely recommend that. It'll just save you money, save you the hassle, you know, eventually of having to go get a different car seat or booster for the car. And you know, they're pretty sturdy. I haven't had any issues with them, and I've washed the outer layers a couple of times, so they just pop off and throw them in the wash, and then they're good. Seventh item is our hook-on high chair. This was a lifesaver. For our first daughter, we had the regular high chair, and you know, it was super cute. It worked great. Folded up, put it against the wall, fine. You know, didn't take up too much room when it was away. When it was out, my daughter loves throwing food off the table. So when she throws food off the table, it gets on the legs, and then sometimes you don't get it all, and then it gets really stuck. So I spent a lot of time just scrubbing that off over and over and over again, and just all the attachments. And you know, while we were eating, it did take up a lot of space. And then we found the hook-on high chairs, and I was a little pessimistic about those at first because, you know, I'm like, oh, they're not sturdy enough. And so we got one, and for the first couple weeks I put a chair underneath her as she ate as well, just in case it did fall, but it never did. And I stopped putting the chair under. You know, there's weight limits on it, so just, you know, follow what it says. But you just hook it up to your table, and it twists on through the bottom, and then they just sit in it. And they can, a lot of, like, I've noticed our babies in particular like to feel like they're a part of our table, so they're eating with the family, and it makes them feel happy. So we just put them right up at the table with us in their little hook-on high chairs, and then when it's time to clean them, I just pop off the outer cover and throw it in the wash. And there's a little board underneath too, you take it out, but put it in the wash, and then it's all done. And I'm not scrubbing legs forever. I just make sure that I wipe off the little attachments that sit on top of the table every time they eat, and it stays perfectly clean. The eighth item I recommend is the Jolly Jumper. I actually have it just sitting back here, so it folds up and it's out of the way. This is just a little space right there. But it's kind of like those door frame jumpers, and they make those too, same brand, door frame jumpers. And we got this because when we had our first daughter, we lived in an apartment complex, and we didn't really have any door frames to put it on, so we got this, and you can set it up in the middle of the room, and I liked it because I could take it with me anywhere. And I was a paranoid mom too, because I'm like, oh, if I put her in a door frame, what if the door frame falls, you know? So that was just me being crazy. But this works great. It's a little tricky figuring out how to put them in this at first, and if you want a video, I can show that with one of my twins. But they're actually really safe, and all my daughters love jumping in them. My oldest is sad because she doesn't fit in it anymore, but my 10-month-old still fit in it, and they love it, so definitely a win for us. The 9th item, this is our favorite item. So this is the Newton crib mattress, and it is 100% washable, and it's breathable, because that was one of our big concerns before our first daughter was born. So when it was actually shipped to us, and we made payment plans on it, and we did that with all 3 of them. So we have 3 of these mattresses. We made payment plans. We couldn't afford to make all these purchases right up front, so we did a lot of payment plans on them, and everything's all paid off now. But this was our biggest concern, was the mattress. And so when we got it, we laid down on it, and I put my face on it, breathed through the mattress, and it, like, I could breathe through it, and it made me feel so much better about, you know, everything that you hear. And so it has a cover as well, and you don't need bed sheets for this mattress because the cover on it comes off, and you throw that into the washer and it washes. You could take the actual mattress and you can throw it into the shower and wash it off, and this mattress will last them, well, they guarantee a lifetime on it, but it'll last them until they grow out of it and they need to have a bigger bed other than like a toddler size bed. So we really like that. Our daughter's mattress we got 2 years ago, and it's just looks just as new as the ones we got for our twins 10 months ago. So this, I cannot recommend this enough. This was the best purchase that we have made for any of our babies. The next one is our 4-in-1 convertible crib. We actually got one of our cribs for free off of Marketplace, and it was a 4-in-1 convertible crib. And then we got one from, well, my in-laws for the baby shower, and it's just wonderful. It'll take you through, you know, the baby, the toddler, the kid-size bed, and then the adult bed, and it just converts the whole way through. This crib is actually the crib that we got for our oldest daughter, and then we got, like I said, we got the free one, and then my husband bought a crib from Target. It was $100, but it wasn't a convertible crib, and he didn't really know. He was just worried about getting a crib while I was in the hospital. So this, you know, but our other 2 cribs will last us until they decide they want another bed eventually. My 11th item is a carrier or sling. So we went with a carrier because I was really concerned. I was like, oh, that looks more like it has more stability, and I kind of wish I would have gotten a sling because the carrier, like, it can dig into different parts of your body, and the slings just look so comfortable. Like, I thought they wouldn't have any support, and then I did more research on it, and after I had already gotten the carrier, and like I said, we didn't have a lot of money, so I didn't want to spend more money on getting a sling, so I stuck it out with the carrier. But it wasn't bad, it worked perfect. But the sling is what I would recommend. I haven't personally used it, but it just looks more comfortable. And for the twins, we got a twin baby carrier. It's like a mini monkey carrier, and they both just sit on my hips, and you know, that one works great too. Like I said, it just digs a little, so I mean, if they make any sling carriers for twins, I would have definitely got it, but I had a hard time finding any. The last item is pacifier clips. So the pacifier clips that come with the, you know, the piece of cloth or beads or anything like that that you add the pacifier to, they can get expensive. So when our twins were born, and go figure, they don't use pacifiers, but we just bought a bag of the clips, and I know how to crochet, so I just crocheted like the ends onto the clips, and it's actually really easy to do. So if anyone wants a tutorial on that, I can do that as well. And you just add the pacifier to the end, and one pacifier clip can cost up to, you know, $10 depending where you get it, but this whole bag costs like $7.50, $8, and you get, I think it's 25 of them. We got the 50 pack, and you know, so if you're crafty or you can figure that out somehow, that is the way to go if you choose to use pacifier. Thank you for listening to the detailed explanation of what we found to be the most useful for our family. There are some other items, I'm not really thinking about them right now, but these were our most important that I would recommend to any new parent. And that's not saying that anybody else's is wrong. If you don't like these items, that's perfectly okay. Each family is different, and what works for me may not work for you. So it's really trial and error type things. So I hope that you found this information useful for your own families and your babies along the way. And if you want to subscribe, follow along. We'll be posting regularly about life with babies and must-haves, regrets, anything like that. And if you want to see a video on anything, just let me know in the comments. Thank you.